In a world where everyone is seeing the end of the world at every turn thanks to the growing threats of Marxist ideology in America, the gloom and doom of climate change, the plans of the Great Reset, and the shocking perversities of the transgender movement, you can have it your way when it comes to signs that this is the end of the world. It's easy to look around and wonder, who is the Antichrist? Where is he living? What work is he involved with? Has he even been born yet? And so YouTubers and church pulpits and televangelists are regularly spouting theories and speculations regarding the Antichrist. In the midst of all of the noise comes Randy White with a simple book on the Antichrist that if I had to describe it in as few words as possible, it would only take me two. This book is refreshing and mundane. Welcome to Rev Reads, your home for Christian book reviews from the perspective of a pastor. If you're new to the channel and want to discover more eye-opening and informative books, please subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the most current reviews. And if you're a regular to the channel, please like and share this video. The more you like it, the more you share it. It goes a long way in letting other people know about the quality work of Randy White in bringing people back to the pages of Scripture. The Antichrist is a refreshingly mundane book. It's mundane because this is a look at the Bible's teaching on the Antichrist without the speculations and crazy theories that are all over the place today. Randy did nothing more than pull together what all the various passages say regarding the Antichrist and then walk the reader through what they mean without adding useless speculation and distractions in the midst of his work. It's, for the most part, just biblical information on the Antichrist. He's not treading new ground here. Instead, he is walking with you over old paths. And while you could say that's mundane, there's nothing new or shocking or outrageous, it's also refreshing. I grew up as a dispensationalist who rejected that label for about a decade when I was in Bible college, seminary, in my first years of ministry. My primary reason for rejecting dispensationalism was all of the speculation that can run rampant in dispensational circles. When you grow up hearing so much about the role of the Soviet Union in the end time events, and then the Soviet Union collapses, it makes you say to yourself, maybe I'm on the wrong team here. Well, if I was led by more grounded dispensationalists like Randy White, I never would have left. Randy sticks to the text. And when he makes conjectures, he's making it clear that these are conjectures. But for the vast majority of the book, he's just moving from passage to passage or from subject to subject regarding the Antichrist. One thing I also liked about the book is that he challenged me on a few of my own assumptions. Thanks to other books that I have read, I had the view that the Antichrist would most likely be a Muslim. Someone who would find a way to bring peace between Roman Catholicism, Islam, and the Jews. And bringing all three of those groups together under a single religion is what will bring him fame. Randy has an interesting theory that Islam will collapse altogether at the beginning or right before the end, and that the Antichrist instead will be a Jew. He has biblical reasons for that, and I think after reading his book and my previous views that I've held, I think I might be more of an agnostic now when it comes to what will be the background of the Antichrist. Now, there were a few passages in this book that Randy went to, such as Ezekiel 28, that he said refer to the Antichrist, and I disagreed with him on a couple of them. I think that might have been my biggest complaint in the book, those passages where I was like, I don't think that one's referring to the Antichrist. But again, that's one of the things I liked about this book, because the disagreements that I have with the author are over the interpretation of the text and not random modern political theories. I also appreciated his emphasis on the danger that it is to turn to allegorical interpretations of end times, things like the mark of the beast. And Randy, in this book, is just trying to help the reader determine the meaning of each passage or each phrase that was used by John or the original author, and he's not trying to reinterpret these passages to fit a scheme or a template that he has already established. So this will encourage you to follow along with Randy White. You'll come up with views that are established right from the Bible, views like the Antichrist is going to have some sort of miraculous power. The Antichrist is going to die and rise from the dead. And this also led Randy to a view of Revelation chapter 12 that I have that is against the common dispensational interpretation that always frustrated me, and I'm really glad that he brought that out the way he does in the book. Overall, I think Randy covered all the bases. He even covered a few bases where I'd be like, I don't know if you need to cover that one. And while I think I might have ordered the book a little bit different, maybe structured which chapter or which section comes when a little bit, maybe flipped some things around. Overall, though, this is the type of book that I really love to see. I love books that take a subject in the Bible, be it death, or the Antichrist, or the millennial kingdom, and you're just going to pile all the relevant passages together, and then we're going to walk through them as writer and reader. So if you're interested in what the Bible has to say about the Antichrist, and you're looking for an author who's just going to do that work for you, of pulling all the passages together, and then walk with you through all the texts in the Bible, then you need to pick up the Antichrist. There's no way you're going to see eye to eye with Randy on every passage and every interpretation, but in a refreshing change of pace, you'll be looking at the scriptures and the views of the Bible the entire time. And some people may call that mundane, but I find it refreshing, and I think it's exactly what we need.